So today I want to kind of talk about kind of building some resilience and kind of opening the idea of to really understanding how we move throughout the day and how it can accumulate sub-failure loads that will eventually lead to failure, and then we feel stiffness in our back, our neck, whatever joint it might be. So this figure here is from Dr. Stuart McGill's work in books. These figures are going to be in lower back disorder. So if you don't know who he is, I highly suggest looking into him. But if we think about this for a second. So if we have time on our x-axis, load on our y-axis, and we use this kind of figure here in a sense of me repeated flexion to pick up a box and then move it. And I do this over a period of time. So I have this load that where I pick up, flex, extend, and rotate here. Over time, I have a level of tolerance where my tissue is going to allow me to move that. Whether it's proper form or not, we have a capacity to a certain degree. And this is why sometimes we don't realize when we go to pick things up, we might not be in the optimal position, but it tells us later. However, we have this margin of safety. So if I keep doing this over time in a bad posture, I don't use my hips, I don't stiffen my core and rotate pelvis with rib cage, what happens, my tolerance starts to go down until I reach failure. And that may not be at work or something throughout the day, but I may be at night going to grab a glass, my back hurts or something like that. That's that tipping point of accumulative stress at sub-failure loads that we didn't realize. So this is just one of many of repeated flexion and rotation that could cause some issues at your lower back or spine or different joints depending on how you're moving. Now let's go into another one that's often seen with people that work behind a computer. Alright, so another scenario is, what if we're just in a flexed position working on a computer for a cumulative amount of times, 2 hours, 3 hours, 1 hour. What happens is when I flex, there's a passive stretch on my ligaments, tendons, and musculature on the posterior side. And if I'm in that position for a certain amount of time or over time, what happens is it starts to change things. And that could start to create some instability, some unwanted tension. So now with this figure, same idea is, as the first figure, we had this undulating up and down load where I picked something up and moved it. So I flexed, rotated. But in this one, the applied load is pretty much the same across the board. Same idea though, the margin of safety starts to go down because we only have so much capacity. So once again, that failure starts to occur. So you may be at work for 6 hours, at home, on the computer, and then you stand up and then you start to move around. Then you at home sit on the couch and all of a sudden, my back starts to hurt. Well, the cumulative stress over the day, could be weeks, could be months, everyone is different, is eventually going to have a tipping point. And so our goal here is to be able to balance that out. And the next figure is going to show how we can do that, and then we'll discuss some movement hacks for you to think about using throughout the day to help kind of keep your resilience a little bit higher, but allow your body to recharge. So as we're trying to optimize building resilience throughout the body, we have to understand that we want to balance it where we have tissue adaptation that's going to over and precede tissue damage. And what that means is we need a level of rest in between, whether it's postures throughout the day or during exercise. So for instance, let's say we're deadlifting and it's a lower body day. So we have applied load, which means it could be sets, volume of repetitions, intensity. But over time, as you see, you take rest and you take multiple days off. And the reason why is if I lift heavy weight, my tolerance is going to go down as it accumulates. And so then I need rest to rebuild before I can improve that tolerance and repeat this. And this is the same thing with postures. So we have to consider this as we're starting to generate these new movement patterns, is allowing our body time to rebuild. And I'm going to show you a couple strategies here that can help throughout the day to help keep that accumulation of positive adaptation occurring versus tissue damage. All right, first thing I want to talk about is creating a little bit of abdominal stiffness. All right, so this is right around this rib cage region, especially the lateral side of the body. So one way to do this, and we're thinking when we do this, is about 10 to 20%. But think about probing the sides of your stomach with your thumbs. And now if you push in, it's going to cave in a little bit. But from there, I want you to push out and feel that stiffness. That's what we're thinking about when we're trying to create stiffness throughout the next couple movement patterns. So what I want to think here, imagine we're going to focus on getting up out of a chair. Okay, with our stiffness, 10 to 20%, we want to think about using the hips, chest up, push the hips back, and sit. Oftentimes, we'll flex our body down, and when we come up, same thing, moving through that spine, accumulating those subfailure tissue accumulations that will eventually increase damage. So we want to think about having a relatively stacked spine. We want to breathe in a little bit of sniff to brace there, pull your feet under your knees, and widen that stance a little bit to give you some leverage. From there, we want to drive up, driving our hips forward, and then keeping the chest up, push your hips back. And you'll see you'll just absorb nice and easily into that. This is a very simple thing that you can do when you're getting off the toilet or if you're standing from your desk. Use the leverage of your legs and your abdominal bracing to help you to reduce that kind of segmental tissue failure that we're not trying to accumulate. So once again, a little bit of stiffness, toes under you, pry your knees apart, drive up, bring the hips forward. Now, if we're then going to think, well, I need to get something off the ground or something at a lower level. So for instance, if I want to grab something here, oftentimes we do this, right? Once again, that flexion component. What we want to think about doing is getting close as we can to the object we're trying to pick up or grab. The closer we are, the shorter the movement arm, the less force is applied to the spine. Then I want to think chest up, a little bit of stiffness, push the hips back, grab, push through the legs, lift up, and then rib cage and pelvis, rotate, and then go to where I want to accomplish that. So same thing, if I want to bring something down, hip hinge back, drop down. Okay? Very easy to do is working on pushing the hips back to pick things up and then driving the hips forward to grab it while keeping a relatively neutral position while maintaining a braced core, 10 to 20%. Once again, just a little bit of stiffness is needed. Now, if something a little bit lower off the ground, we may want to think a little bit of stiffness, lunge back. We can either come down here to grab and then drive up, or if I want to get to the ground and do an exercise or just kind of hang out there, push the hips back, walk my hands out, and then all of a sudden I'm on the ground. And then when I want to get up, push the hips, or push onto the hands, chest up, push the hips back, drive the hips forward, swing the leg through, a little bit of stiffness, drive up. So you see there's three things right there that we can do when we work on this. So once again, good position, squat chest up, use the hips, drive forward. When I pick something up, push the hips back, a little bit of tension in the core. Same thing. Or if I want a staggered stance to grab something, chest back, then use the hips. And then on the ground, same thing, a little bit of stiffness. And then switch. So using the hips with a little bit of stiffness throughout the day is going to be very beneficial when we're trying to reduce those unwanted stress accumulations at the spine or joint. So kind of think about that throughout the day, especially if you tend to be behind a computer or in that flex position a lot. Change your postures up, get some abdominal stiffness, and move through your hips.